Haarlem is a beautiful city with a rich history, beautiful monumental buildings and cultural institutions. After the Second World War, the large industrial companies disappeared from the city. Haarlem became a city of services, education, government, culture and culinary. Since June 2017, it is a coordinator of the Urban Agenda Partnership on innovative and responsible public procurement. Sustainability is one of the pillars of the coalition agreement of the mayor and aldermen of the City of Haarlem. This is why sustainability criterion is included in the selection of new partners for the execution of civil works in the city. By binding permanent partners and entering into long-term contracts, we had an intention to use the knowledge of the market in the field of sustainability.
In the early 2000s, we started to introduce social return in our procurements. And after a few years, we also thought that would be a good idea to introduce green procurement. So we bought green energy, recycled paper, and also less energy consuming machines in our offices. That turned out to be quite a success, but then we thought, well, we can have bigger ambitions and let's take a look at the road and waterworks, because the stake of the carbon dioxide in that kind of works is very high. In 2015, the United Nations came with the Sustainable Development Goals, and that made us aware about other themes which could be very effective to introduce also in our procurement. Just like fair labor, we teamed up with other big cities in Europe and we developed selection criteria on fair labor. And with this selection criteria, we could have some influence on the big IT companies in the world.
The moment you have some general policy goals towards sustainability or social procurement, you need more structure towards that. So it's not about just certain purchases that you're going to do, but really about more strategic and structured approach. That's where the urban agenda really helped us with, because it really showed all the steps in a procurement cycle. We first have to start with the procurement strategy. What do you want to achieve? And then you're about how to achieve that.
Social return on investment is a standard part of all work in the City of Haarlem. These objectives are simply imposed in the contracts. All partners must invest 4% of the total procurement amount in creating jobs and internships for people who receive benefits from the City of Haarlem. This is also a politically supported wish.
We put our sustainability ambitions into practice by examining the possibilities for a more sustainable approach for each project. For example, in recent years we have used construction chains that run on solar energy, made bridges decks of plastic and used asphalt that consists largely of recycled materials. Sustainable investment now costs more, but should save money in the long run. The earlier involvement of the partners also has the advantage that we bring more knowledge on board. You get to know each other better and better, so that processes run more smoothly and partners have already a large part of the required knowledge. So shifting the focus on quality and sustainability also increase long-term cost efficiency.
In the tender, we provided a direction in the field of sustainability and circularity, but we deliberately did not specify the options explicitly. We expect the market to be at the forefront and to be able to respond to this demand on their own initiative. The main thing was that the suppliers could demonstrate that they have their own vision of a sustainable and circular future, and that they are intrinsically motivated to act accordingly. Focus in the tendering of the framework contracts was not only on sustainability, but also on the use of the knowledge and innovation capacity of the market parties in our processes related to maintenance of public space. The objectives were collaboration with the city, sustainability and circularity, cost efficiency, and political and environmental awareness. For sustainable cooperation with the market, it is very important to get out of the price discussion. The emphasis must be on collaboration, giving space for innovation, creativity, common goals and trust. When applying for the contracts, the suppliers were asked to indicate how they will deliver their work efficiently and for usual market prices. The objective is to realize projects for market prices instead of the lowest price, so the focus can stay on quality and other objectives like sustainability.
We formulated the criteria in such a way that all types of contractors, large and small, could adequately fulfill them. We tried to get a healthy mix of local nationally operating market parties and large and smaller companies. In this way, local small, medium enterprises were also given the opportunity to participate in the tender. We asked the suppliers to provide a live presentation in addition to a written plan. The presentation has to be given by the person who would actually go to work in Haarlem. Everything that has been offered by the suppliers has been taken into account. In this way, market parties that do not have much to offer in terms of sustainability dropped out. Weighting was done on the technical and financial feasibility of the proposals, but also on reality value. We assessed it ourselves during the selection, which was made by various employees with various knowledge backgrounds. When too many suitable companies emerged from the selection phase, this was reduced to 12 for the next phase by drawing lots.
In the award phase, we challenged the partners to provide a vision on a number of components. Firstly, we wanted to know how the contractor thought about collaboration, where joint learning and development are central. Secondly, the bidders had to indicate how they work in an urban environment. The question was, how will you limit nuisance and how will you coordinate with all stakeholders? And finally, the bidders had to explain how they deliver their work for fair prices. After signing the contract, we discussed with the new partners how they are going to actually realize their commitments. For example, they committed to realize a local materials hub and using circular materials. They established a local office, or they would use electric transport and work with local suppliers. The partners collaborated with each other and with us to achieve these goals.